Here to the 6-day online research methodology course in social sciences, and my special thanks to the management team and the organizing team for inviting me as the resource person for the today's session on writing bibliography and reference management. So without much delay, we shall straight away get into our presentation. So now we are going to discuss about what is bibliography and what is its importance, whether it is really needed for a research work, and how you are going to manage all the references with the help of technical softwares for better reference management. So now coming to what is bibliography. It's just a list of all of the sources you have used in your research work, whether referenced or not. So this is the major confusions that everybody have when they proceed with their research work. For example, if they are doing one research on the topic women entrepreneurship, they would have referred 10 books, 10 research articles. They would have cited the same in their research work, I mean the research report. But it is not necessary, only these 10 books and 10 research articles alone should be referenced or cited and should be entered in the bibliography. However, he would have referred some books, but he may not have cited the same in his research report. Still, he can include the same in his bibliography. Normally, whenever you include any source of information which you have referred in your bibliography, there are certain information which you cannot miss. Those are author's name or editor's name, title of the research work, date of the study held, place of publication, and details of publication company, volume or issue number for better identity, page numbers which act as a better identifier, and in case if you're going for online resources, you should give details on the organization or company who has created a web page and managing those web page with proper web address. You mean the URL. And last date you looked at the page, which means date of access of the information that you have availed from online resources. Now, what is the importance of bibliography? When you talk about bibliography, it is not just works cited, it is all the relevant materials that you are going to take hold and you are going to consolidate and present in the part of bibliography in your research report or research article or thesis, whatever that is concerned. However, bibliography is very important for any research process because everybody feel it's a last stage. However, bibliography comes into a place before you decide on your topic. From the day one, you search for your topic, search on your research problem, dwell on your research problem, reviewing the literature, everything should be related and that affects bibliography chapter or the bibliography part. So, no more bibliography is going to be a concluding work. Bibliography is always a primary work that you need to consider in your research work. Also, without bibliography, you cannot substantiate your research with strong support of resources or sources of information. And need for bibliography. When you talk about need for bibliography, from the stage of identification of research problem, you need to refer any some source of information to get appropriate information on your research problem. Similarly, whenever you review any literature, you obviously need to work on the bibliography properly so that your research literature will always be in order appropriately to the references list. And framing of research objectives is again a very important task. When you frame research objectives, it should have a proper review in support, which should always be documented and later it will be referred. Before proceeding with the research methodology, you should trace out all the literatures of appropriate and related methodology, whether it is good to use certain methodology in your study. And data analysis and interpretation, you may wonder what bibliography is going to deal with data analysis and interpretation. However, whenever you use any variable into your questionnaire and whenever you do any such analysis, whenever you relate any variables, may be dependent or independent, you have to support it with proper literature withhold of references. Similarly, it can be a research findings or suggestions or even your concluding remark of your research work should always be supported with proper citations, references from the earlier extant literature. So this is what the role of bibliography is all about. So now people often get confused with bibliography, annotated bibliography, or works cited. When you talk about works cited, you refer one work and you cite it in your research work. But bibliography is list of all the works. It can be works cited, it can be references, it can be your endnote, or it can be even annotated bibliography. Everything will be consolidated under the part of bibliography. The annotated bibliography is a bibliography which always have a short note by the author explaining the significance of the source. So all the three are unique and of course different. What are all the components that is included in bibliography? First, work cited. As I said, when you refer one article, research article, it has to be cited in your text and it will also be included in bibliography. If you refer any books, it has to be included in your bibliography. Same way, if you have any specific references on endnotes and footnotes, it should also comprises with the bibliography part. Otherwise, additional research notes, any sources referred for your research work, whether you have not cited or cited, that doesn't make any difference. It should be a part of bibliography. Now coming to works cited, this is how the works cited looks like. It is just exactly related to the parenthetical citation that you have included in your research work. So parenthetical citation normally it has a page number or a year of study along with the last name of the author. And this is references where whatever the sources you have referred and retrieved will just be part of references list. And additional footnotes. Footnotes will always be used for to highlight any information or any terminology to give valid explanation. Sometimes it also be substantiated with unique references. Endnotes, footnotes takes place in the every end of the page, but endnotes will be taking place in the end of the work, end of the research article. Endnotes is similar to footnote, but however, endnotes is more included with references. And components of bibliography, you can include books, book chapters, journal articles, book review, newspaper article, encyclopedia, even interview by the researcher, performances of any art, a dissertation, class lecture, paper presentation at conference, seminars, etc., government documents, even a DVD, even YouTube resources, and online resources, online newspaper website, and so on. Everything will just be consolidated and form a bibliography. Now we are going to see everything one by one, starting from book. When you talk about book, if you have two authors, automatically both authors' name should be there, title of the book, publisher of the book, and publishing city of the book, publishing year, page number should be there. Similarly, if it's three author, all the three authors' name should be there and along with the related information. If it's more than three authors, then we normally use the first author name. Along with that, we know AL, ET space AL full stop. AL signifies that you have some more authors along with as a contributor. And chapter in an edited book should specify exactly the chapter detail along with the name of the book, that is edited book. And here you will not be considered a person as an author, instead you have to include editor's name. Article in a journal, as we all aware, we need to include author of the article, title of the article, and title of the journal in which you have retrieved, along with the issue number, volume number, year of publication, and page number. Book reviews again will just follow similar to what articles consist of, but here you have to include the year and details of pages in similar to article. A newspaper article is more of giving details related to the exact newspaper in which the data was retrieved. Encyclopedia, you have to specify the details of encyclopedia you refer along with all the related information. Interview by writer of research paper. Normally, interviewee, interviewer details should be there along with the date of interview, and details of interview. Performances is more of art performances which can still be documented as references and can be included in bibliography. Dissertation, when you talk about dissertation, it can be PhD, PG, or MPhil dissertation. Everything can be cited appropriately and it should be included in bibliography. Likewise, class lecture, details of class lecture, date of the lecture should be accommodated in your reference list. Paper presented at conference should give the details of the exact conference and conference happens city and date of the conference and so on. Government documents again should be included with a clear part of type of document and which ministry it is publishing. Everything should be included. Normally, government documents also includes a document number and DVD or even YouTube resources. Everything can be accommodated in bibliography. Online sources can still be accommodated in bibliography, but in the recent time, DOI is very important. That is called as digital object identifier, or a URL is must to add with the references when you enter it in under bibliography. An online newspaper still can be cited or not cited and still can be added with bibliography. And website details, website resources can also be considered. So now talking about bibliography, you always think about which style you can use it for writing all the references, drafting all the references. For that, we have several referencing styles. However, each referencing styles will be affecting each specialization or research area or particular subject. However, with regard to social sciences, MLA and APA is a very popular referencing style. For example, along with if you talk about MLA, it's more common in literatures and communications. If you talk about MLA, it is Modern Language Association. If it's APA, American Psychological Association, which deals with economics, education, psychology related studies. Chicago referencing styles again deals with history and art related subject, followed by IEE, CSC, everything. And when you talk about citation styles, we have many, but very authentic styles or very common styles are APA, MLA, Chicago, followed by Harvard. And we do have some uncommon citations still being expected by similar journals or publishing company. And these are the examples of different citation in APA format, MLA format, Chicago format. What makes a good bibliography? This is always a big question for you all. For example, people often ask, researchers often ask, whether can I use only research articles for my study and prepare a bibliography? Whether I can use only book references? Whether I can use only online resources? But that is not a real good combination of bibliography. If you're going for an exploratory study, if you do not have any common citations list with you, common reference list with you, then you can dwell on any one particular unique source of information. However, if you feel that your research problem is very common and it has a good trace of years of researches, then you should take up books, journals, online resources, research articles from conference proceeding, dissertations, and all sort of information should be included. And whenever you thrive with the bibliography references, first you should give more weightage for the written references, then you should move on to the web sources. But nowadays, like everybody dwelling on web resources first, but it's always moved from tradition to modern. That will be very helpful. And you should also ask a question, have you included complete information to identify each of your sources? Whenever you refer any sources of information, you should very keen whether you have included all the information possibly. Also, have you used a proper format? Just now I've referred through MLA, APA formats for citation styles. You should double check whether you have used one appropriate formats in your research report. And bibliography is always advisable to be ordered in alphabet based. And do you have any sources of information to answer all of your research questions? So, if you have any objectives, any research questions, everything should be substantiated with proper references, which should be accommodated under bibliography. Reference management. This is the second part of our session. Reference management is perceived to be tedious and time consuming by many researchers, especially when it is done manually. So, when you talk about reference management, it is simply understood as managing the references that you have referred for your research work or study. So, whenever you refer, for example, if you are writing an article, you have reviewed around 100 sources which you want to include it in references. First, you should take notes of all the references. You have to jot it down clearly. Then, you should accommodate all the sources into one particular unique referencing style suitable for your study. Then, you have to order it alphabetically. So when you think about this, it's definitely considered to be a tedious process. However, now things are becoming bit easy because of invention of reference management software. When you talk about reference management, in the recent 15 last years or in recent 15 years, we've been coming under significant developments of reference management, which makes the researchers' works much easier. For example, the reference management works on retrieval of reference information from online bibliographic database. For example, if you want to refer any work, you just need to use the reference manager software. If you give the input, automatically the output will be in bibliography format. Similarly, DOIs and other persistent identifiers for bibliographic information will also be utilized by reference management software. And nowadays, PDF is being read and PDF can be easily referenced by the softwares used for reference management. Open access text and web based references are quite easy by using reference management softwares. Now, what is reference management software? Very simple. It will help you in assisting reference management work electronically than manually, and it cites very accurately and efficiently. It integrates all the file storage which you have it as a soft copy, and it also save all the resources related to your references. And these are the some popular citation softwares, referencing softwares that you can use it to create bibliography for your research work. Among this, a very popular software is Mendeley, followed by EndNote, and so on. And when you talk about research management softwares, you have Menly, which is popular, followed by EndNote and Zotero. These three softwares are very useful. Few versions are available free, and when you want to go for premium, it is paid. And how reference manager works. First, it imports citations from the bibliographic database, which means if you're referring one article, it directly downloads its citations, and it gathers metadata, huge data in a form of PDF files, and also from PDF files in order to retrieve all the reference related material. It allows organization of citations within the reference manager database. It allows annotations to the citations with all the proper information. It allows sharing of the reference manager database or portions thereof with colleagues. It is very easy if you maintain Menly or EndNote. You can also share your reference database with other, and it also allow data to interchange with other reference manager products through standard metadata formats. For example, you can still switch over from one reference management software to another easily because of a standard formats, and it produce formatted citation variety of styles. For example, you're working on an article, you have already uploaded 100 PDFs related to that research problem, and you initially retrieved Harvard referencing style or Chicago referencing style. Now the journal editor wants you to convert it into modern language association citation style. Just by a click of a button, you can do it. That is how the reference manager software works. And finally, you can just download the citation. You can accommodate in MS Office Word file, and you can process it and consolidate and present under bibliography part. Now, just common tips for bibliography writing and reference management is very simple. You need to take appropriate notes before you start with referencing work. After that, always jot down the notes and draft all the references. if possible, if it's very limited, or else straight away you can enter it in Excel or any file, or you can save all the source file and upload it in the reference management software, and use a proper management so reference management software like Menly or EndNote. If you go for online sources directly, it will have a very minimal services or minimal provisions, and you should always cross check the output. Though it is a software, still it is a software. You should always retrieve the output and manually check whether all the styles are properly accommodated in your bibliography, and you should use appropriate referencing style. If it's 100 references list, all 100 should be on the same style, whether MLA or Harvard referencing or Chicago or APA. Similarly, you should present it in a very orderly manner alphabetically with a proper hanging format in your Word document by end of the research work. So this is all out the presentation, but before that I would also like to give some live show of how you have to accommodate your references, how you should use the bibliography effectively. Now I am presenting my entire screen for you. For example, if you are going to write a thesis, always try to have a spreadsheet like this. Here I have different sheets with all the necessary informations here. If it's book, I need a name of the author, title, edition, volume, page number, name of the publisher, citation, national or international, year of publication, medium of publication, and details. Similarly for journals, you have to include all the details properly, and web resources, dissertations, reports, you have to accommodate the informations accordingly. But this is a very manual way of doing it. But if you are very comfortable with the referencing management softwares, it is not necessary. You can straight away upload all the detail. But being a budding researcher, if you are in an entry point of research work, please have this kind of a source documentation by using MS Office Excel. Similarly, when you work on any study, always have this kind of a notes. For example, this is one research report. Introduction chapter, I will just include all my references. Even if you do a reliability test, you have to accommodate all the references related to it. For conceptual framework, I have given all these references. Similarly, for all the analysis work, you have to accommodate. Even if you have any important website links, you have to accommodate it. Even for data analysis chapter, you have to show proper references. By maintaining a proper MS Office Word document, you can accommodate all the reference list. It will also help you to have better note taking for bibliography. Later, you can just consolidate and present. And as you all aware, this is how you include bibliography. Can you see it? You give a title bibliography. It's in a Word document and it is in hanging format. Hanging format is nothing but the first line will be on left and second and third will be little indented with the tab length inside the content. Similarly, it is all formatted in alphabetically and the things goes on. This will give a better picture. The alignment should be same. This is an MLA format and all the web related data, web references, hard copy references like books, articles, everything is accommodated in the bibliography file. And now we just try to download a Menly software and we will see whether how we can do with the online referencing also. So just in Google you type Menly and download now for Windows, and you can see it downloading. It will take some time. You can accept all the related cookies. Need to have some patience for downloading, and then we can proceed with working on it. Yes, it's the download is going on. It's going to get end in a few seconds. Then you just install the reference manager software manually, and you just finish off with the installation, and I think you can close with it. And now you can see the manually software is loading. So once the manually software comes up, you need to just log in with your email ID possibly, and you just need to create your account, and you can use your software accordingly with your email ID. So this is a Menly software. All you need to see is you can just need to upload all the references possibly to your account. This is seems to your account and library, and you can just click this add, and you have several data. You can use file from computer, and here I have some files in my computer, and I can use it. See, when you look into this, I have so many articles here. What I can do is I can just select any of these articles, and I just need to upload it. So when you see, it's really going to upload like 7 files. When it uploaded itself, it will fetch all the title, years, and everything. Can you see it? All the 12 files are uploaded, and you can see authors, year, title, sources, and added time and everything. See, friends, now you can have a better look about how reference management software works and how it is easy to have everything in a very perfect manner. And you can select all this, and you can even select it, use this export option, and you can select it into a Word file possibly. And also you can have favorite, not favorite, and you can organize all the files accordingly. Similarly, you can pick exact authors, and you can tag authors if you want. You can see all the recently added, and you can also see recent reads. For example, if you open this, then you can see all the possible details here, and annotations, notebook, everything will be part of it. Similarly, if you see the second article, you can see all the information like abstract. So it is very easy for you to get a particular data, particular information on the details that you have referred with a single click. So this is how you need to organize your data easily, so that you can easily accommodate. If you want to identify any, for example, if I need to search an author called fan, I can find this author fan, and I can pull up all the work related to it. Similarly, if you want to work on something design, and you can see some work that is related to design and everything that you can study related to it. So this is how the reference software works. For example, I have to take the reference of this three citations. I can go for copy format, open one word, and I can just paste it. And you see the citation is pasted. So this is all about Menly software, how we can use it and how you can function it. And you can also use online referencing softwares. It will also be very helpful. For example, like you can just see for online citations generator, maybe MLA, and you just use citation machine, anything of that sort, and it will take some time to load. For example, you have a keyword with you, maybe financial inclusion, and you can search it. You will find all the online resources. If you want to cite this resources, then you can give cite, and you will get all the details here. You can give continue, and you can find if you want to give any additional data. If not, you can just complete the citation. The citation is here, and what you need to do is copy citation, and you can just paste it in your Word file. That's it. So this is all about online citation and using Menly software. So I believe now you at least get some input about how the citation works and everything. And this is the significance of bibliography and also importance of reference management software which you can use in your research work. This will definitely reduce your time and everything, but always have a good attitude that bibliography is not going to be a last stage. It is a very primary stage and preliminary stage. You need to work on bibliography. Always have a habit of note making, and that will definitely help you to figure out all the references, and it will be very helpful to consolidate the references exactly as you expected and to present it better in the bibliography part. So thank you all, and I formally thank the program organizers and the management team, and my special thanks and regards to Dr. Selva Kumar sir, the course coordinator, for inviting us as a resource person on this particular topic on this particular day. Thank you one and all the very best.